Welcome to the live chat for Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I'm Benjamin Walker. This is Rufus Sewell, our director, Timur Bekmambetov, and author, Seth Grahame-Smith. I have a great Russian accent. Let's get started. Why did you want to make this movie?
Because I read the book. Why you read the book? Why you wrote the book?
Nice.
Because I wanted someone to make it into a movie.
Oh, it all comes full circle.
You did it?
Why did I do it? Because I wanted to work with you on his book.
Okay.
So when you guys made it, because you also wrote the screenplay, how much of the book is in there?
50-50.
50-50, that's pretty good.
50 words?
No, it's a book. It's the same
I would say
story.
a lot of it is in there. Most of it. Tonally, obviously the motivations of the character, obviously the mentor,
Right, the
Henry.
structure of Lincoln's life.
We added some things that were not in there, such as a villain.
Yes.
Yeah. Adam, who's the chief vampire, and an exciting climax. I think more of a cinematic climax than was in the book. But otherwise, it's I will say this: it's true to the spirit of the book throughout.
Pretty remarkable.
Ben?
Yeah.
May I ask you, when it comes to embodying the late president, what was the most difficult part, and how much research did you do?
Well, we did a lot of research. I mean, I definitely think the movie is a period movie that happens to have vampires in it. And there's a lot of research to do. Like Doris Kearns Goodwin's book is great, but doesn't really help us very much because it's a lot about his politics in the White House. But there are books like The Melancholy of Abraham Lincoln, which is all about his depressive nature and how he dealt with death and his correspondence. And that kind of gothic side of him is something that certainly lends itself nicely to the story we're telling.
And also, I read the Russian book about Civil War. There's a Russian writer, like a thriller writer. His name is Bushkov. He wrote a book about the American Civil War, which there is a lot of secrets Americans doesn't want to talk about.
Sure. You heard it here first, folks.
Learn those in the sequel.
And you worked on the book and the screenplay, as we've already discussed. Other than the fact that you're your own editor, how was that? Were there advantages?
What to being the screenwriter and the author?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Yes. I'll answer that.
There are financial advantages.
Exactly.
There are all sorts of advantages. No, I think for me it was look, it was a thrill getting to work with everybody that worked in the movie. It was a huge learning experience for me. It was not only the first book that I had adapted for the screen, but it was my book. So it was you have to be very harsh, and you just have to kill your darlings, get everything that doesn't belong in the movie out of the movie, and don't feel, don't let your ego get in the way.
Right, and create new darlings like this.
That's right,
darling.
like this darling right here.
And
That's
you play Adam. What was
I
that
play
like?
Adam. I play Adam, who is called Adam because he's the first of the vampires, the vampire from which all others came. And he was around at the time of the pyramids, and he's part monster because he is, when he's ferocious, he's more ferocious than any, more formidable than any. He's like an animal. But at the same time, he's a politician. So in the vampire elections, you would vote for him. He is someone who is a great soldier for his cause. He's a great president for the vampires. So he doesn't waste time killing people who don't need to be killed. He doesn't waste energy. He's not vulgar. What do the vampires need? How do we get it for them? Who stands in our way? He's that man. And that makes him quite formidable as an opponent.
And he's right.
Right. Like all good more threatening than a pragmatic individual.
Because America is the country of immigrants, and the vampires are immigrants too.
Well, yes,
they came here to build a country of their own. They want to be free. But
Yeah, who knows? And Tim Burton, producer, what's he like? Is he a nice guy?
He's a nice guy. I really think his role is huge in the movie. We didn't understood because I think Seth wrote his book influenced by his movies, and you can feel it. I'm sure you like it.
You just been ripping off Tim Burton.
No, that's what I'm doing now. From this point forward, No, I mean, it's interesting. I've heard you say that, and it didn't occur to me at the time, but I feel like going back and looking at the book, you can feel the influence of that and other filmmakers and other writers in the book. I think Tim gave us the sort of protection to tell the story the way we wanted to tell it, which is very serious and straightforward, and never winking. I remember the first time we all met about it. We said never winking, never making a joke out of the concept, but just playing it seriously.
And also, it was important because I never heard from him saying I don't like it or it's wrong or I'm not sure. He was every time when I pitched him something and we discussed something, he was happy and excited. And one version maybe he was lying, but I think not because every time when you are going to him to talk to him, you kind of preparing because if I'm trying to telling the story to you, I want you to be excited, and I'm doing as much as I can to
So you told him to
shape it. Yes, you're trying to shape it. Yeah, it's how he influenced.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sure he was just happy because you had great ideas.
So it's self-censorship, really.
So Ben, when you had to do a lot of action.
Yeah.
And what kind of training did you have to go through? Well, you had a lot of axe spitting in the movie and a lot of physical sequences.
Well, I had to lose some weight to start. Lincoln was quite gaunt and frail by the end of his life. And then we did months of axe throwing and wushu and stretching and training and hitting a lot of stunt guys in the head with rubber axes until I got it right. Some guys were really game to get clobbered a little bit. So you're working on Dark Shadows, also with Tim Burton. And what's that like? Are you done with that? Or are you still working on it?
Yeah, it comes out in 6 weeks.
Hey,
I hope I'm done with it.
A big year.
I mean, look, it's a very different type of vampire movie. It's very overtly funny. It's got a completely different tone, and you know, it was a great experience coming out of this experience. You know, this was, you know, very intense, and you know, it's a huge movie, but you know, then you compare it to Dark Shadows, and it just feels like we're making a guerrilla movie here. You know, it's you know,
indie film.
I mean, it's amazing, and you know, look, there are worse people that you could be mentored by through 2 films than Tim Burton.
Sure. And you